Hello and welcome to the spooky edition of Minecraft. Today I'm going to be going over some building tips for building a spooky house. Now, first thing you should consider when building a house is the location. Now if you're going for a spooky house, I reckon dark forest, or the roofed forest as it's called, but I'm going to call it the dark forest forever, is probably one of the better ones, as the ground is just darker on its own, and the forest itself is generally dark enough to spawn mobs a bit during the day, and is a lot creepier than most of the other biomes, even the new ones that have been added. And you can also achieve the same sort of effect in a swamp biome, like this one. Yeah. It should be noted that in clearing away bits of dark forest, there are various methods of doing this. It's quite tricky, just with an axe or something, but fire works quite well, I found. Yeah, I'd recommend that. Anyway, back to the building. The next important thing that you should consider is the material that you're going to be building with. Now if you're going for a spooky house, I'd generally recommend nether brick and bricks. Obsidian's quite good as well for supporting pillars and things, but I've gone with nether brick and brick for the most part. I have used obsidian on the inside as a sort of edging around my floor, but that's about all I used it for in this. Now you go with nether brick because it's quite a dark colour. It's quite good for this, and it's got the stairs and the slabs and things like that that you need for this to work. It also has nether brick fences, which is something that not all of the other materials come with. In fact, only wood has fences, and then only oak wood, which isn't great for being spooky. Shame about the doors. And what's wrong with them? That's a bit strange. Whatever. Now, I've also used a bit of podzol for the dirt just outside the house, because it just looks a bit, it's darker colours again. It gives more of a spooky vibe than the normal dirt, although if you are in a dark forest you might find it just fine to use the default dirt here because it's darker. Obviously I've used gravel for the path going to the house. It's a good path building material. And some iron fences for the sort of bits in between the wall. Now, whenever I've needed to use glass, whenever I've needed to use glass, I've gone with the black stained glass. Get rid of these. Get out of here. Right. So, the next thing you should consider is decoration. Now, good for decoration is things like the redstone, which you can use as sort of blood splatters. Flaming netherrack's good. Not only does it provide light, but it also provides flamingness. Really, that's all. Flames. Nothing more needs to be said about that. Now on the inside, I've gone for a decoration of creepers, apparently, because I haven't put enough torches around, and cobwebs, which is good sort of standard spooky fare there. You can obtain cobwebs properly. I've also gone with redstone torches instead of normal torches for that added sort of dark effect, along with turning my brightness to moody, which is something I'd recommend doing if you're going to try and make something creepy. Now, I've also used wither skeleton skulls as sort of decoration on the second floor, on the posts. I've positioned them so that as you climb the stairs like this, it's the first thing you see when you come to this floor. For that, I don't know, a little bit of shock, I guess, if you're particularly terrified by wither skeleton skulls. Although in reality they aren't especially scary. But yeah, they're the only skull you can get properly in the game, so that's the one you stuck with. Sorry. Now, as further decoration goes, you can always add a graveyard. That's always nice. And you can obviously fill the graveyard with references to things from films or books that you're reading, or just sort of stuff in general. Or you could fill them with your friends, which might be a bit psychopathic or sociopathic, but what the hell? Why not? Now, something else that you can do, which is generally good, all horrible places need a basement. Naturally, this will be full of blood and things to experiment on, like Mr. Testificate. I've included this little desk that I've rigged up with some upside down fences and a half slab, and a pot with a mushroom in it. Also zombies. It's also good to add a cauldron and a brewing stand, because it looks like you're doing some sinister experiments down here, which is a good look for a horror house, as I'm going to call it. I'll leave them there. I've also added the creature, which is just a creeper that I've named with a name tag. Now, for more decoration, if you have built near a dark forest, you could leave a path through it that leads just far enough away from it so that you can get lost, basically. Good, slime. You should always make it easy to see the ones in front of you, but if you can, try to disguise the ones behind you if possible, because then you can actually get people to be lost in the forest, which is just kind of amusing, I feel. I'd also make note to make sure that you don't lead the path to anywhere where you can see the house, if that's where you want to stop it, because that's always a bit rubbish. If they can see the safe, quotation marks, safe place, then they're not going to be scared. And oh, there's some nice roses over here, and the edge of the forest. Okay, I didn't plan this path brilliantly, but whatever. It's good. Always have a path through the dark, spooky forest. I really should have led it over there, shouldn't I? Anyway, back to the house. Is there anything that I haven't... oh, there is actually... Let's do this. Another thing that you could do, if you want some creepy sounds to be around your house, is lead a mob through... a hostile mob, even, into the, like, pit outside, perhaps, and then name it so that it won't despawn, and then cover up the pit so that it doesn't die, and you can't see it. And this will mean that it'll keep making noise and things, and it won't die or go away because you've named it. So you'll constantly have a house filled with creepy sounds. Right then, everybody. Thank you for watching this sort of spooky edition of me building things in Minecraft. Except you haven't actually seen me build anything. I've just talked about good ways to potentially build something. Well, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something vaguely useful from it. And that's about it. See you next time for a not so spooky episode of Minecraft.